All right, this is the Friday night breakdown. It's the season review of Giles, the 2023 season, and I'll have some things to say about going to the 2024 season. There's a lot of promise going into the 23 season, especially after a new offense that was being introduced. People got tired of the single wing. They complained about it and said we need something new. And to a point, I think we did. We needed to incorporate some new things, maybe not switch everything around. And I think that hurt us as the season went on. Um, then we had the scrimmage at Hidden Valley, which we looked really good. We were all over the field running plays, left, right, up the middle. We threw the ball well, what bit we threw it. Then we played Christiansburg in a scrimmage. We led most of that game. Our defense looked really good. Number 21, I think, had 5 sacks that game. I'm not going to try to say any kids' names. If you did really good, I remember your name, then I may say it. If you did anything bad, I'm not going to say your name. If I say a number, I may say a number, but your name I will not call if you did anything bad because you are a kid. A number, I may say, coaches, you're old enough to take the heat. You're a coach. If I was a coach, I'd take the heat too. So it's just nature of the beast, I guess. But anyway, a lot of promise going in. Then we beat Blacksburg, who we knew was not a very good team, but they still always play us tough. They're a bigger school. They have more depth, but we beat them. Then we played Radford, who may very well win the state in Double A this year, which should be I think they will get there. Them or Graham. It should be a very good state game. I think probably play Rivers Head. But anyway, we lost to them. They are a very talented team, and I think it put a crack in our armor a little bit that game. Like always, you want to go undefeated, and we played so well up to that point. We kind of got dominated that game. A few injuries come out of that game, so I think it kind of put us back on our heels a little bit. Then the ill-fated game that defined our whole season and changed the whole season around for us, the Naris game. I don't know what happened. The kids we lost that game, a game we should have won. It took Naris that last second drive to win that game, but they did what they had to do. They won the game, It's like the kids, it broke their hearts, it broke their spirits. That was their Super Bowl, really on both sides. It's Naris Super Bowl as well, but it was our Super Bowl, and we lost. And the season quickly went downhill from there. Nothing worked. I think the kids gave up. The kids quit listening. I'm not saying all the kids on my team. Don't take it that way. But for a big part, I think they kind of quit listening. It was just a crap show from there on. And it shouldn't have been that way. It should not have been that way. There's games we should have won, and we fell apart right in the end of it. Part of it was play calling. Some of the play calling was atrocious. The play calling's got to get better by the coaching staff. A big part, I said you can't put all the blame on Jeff and the coaching because the kids are not listening, and that's just part of the culture now. I seen Jeff yell at these kids to get them to do the right thing, and he's trying to get them to do the right thing, and they won't listen. So, it's a combination of things. It's just one of those years. So I'm not going to talk much about it. Promising season went bad quickly, and it is a shame. We beat Fort Cheswell. We was able to make it to the playoffs. We thought we were going to get to play Nares. We should have got to play Nares. We missed that game by 1 point. I believe it was 156 points Fort Cheswell had. We had 155, and we missed it because Bluefield lost to James Monroe. I don't know how all that breaks down, but that's what I was told happened. But anyway, we went on and we played Grayson County. The kids had their heads in the game. The kids played their hearts out that game. The pass defense was better. We got some shabby calls by the officiating crew. It was absolutely awful calls. That's all I can say. And there was mistakes. We beat ourselves. There was penalties. We get down deep. We had motion. So, like I said, the combination plays early in that game. A lot of us felt that I think it was 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. That very first drive, Jeff went for it, and he ended up punting. And we had an awful punt that particular time, and they wound up scoring on a short field. I think he should have went for it as well. Will we got it? Who knows? But if we did, we may not have scored. But we still may have put them down there really deep, and they may not have scored. But we fought hard, and it's just a shame we couldn't win that game, because I think we would beat Galax, who we would play next round. I think we would beat them. And now after that, I don't know what would have happened. It'd been a whole lot harder. But so that was the 2023 season in a nutshell, pretty much. Started out strong, promise. Then we had the heartbreaking loss to Nares, and the whole season changed from that point on. And I think the kids, it just broke their heart. It broke their heart. In the last game of the season, they realized they couldn't win. You know, they knew he was in the playoffs, and they thought they was going to get to play Nares. But they still played hard. You know, they didn't get that game. And a game they should have won in the playoffs. But they didn't. And that's just how the 2023 season went. So we need to move on. That's about all I'm going to say for it. Seniors, if y'all would see this, or your parents, I wish you could have done better. I wish you could have went further in the playoffs. I wish you the best of luck the rest of the way in life. Hope things go well for you, and just fight through it. So, excuse me, it's late. Sorry. So let's go on to the 2024 season here a little bit. I've got some things wrote down here I just kind of wanted to go over. I think going into this season, you kids are going into this season, if you're not playing winter sport or a fall or a spring sport coming up, you need to be in that weight room. You see these other programs, these other kids wonder why Salem does so good, and Radford and Rivers Heads and even Nares and so forth. They're in the weight room. They're getting faster. They're getting stronger. They want to win. You should want that championship. That's it. You should want the championship. And it starts in that weight room. It starts with mental focus, mental preparation. Now, so if you're not playing winter sports or fall sports, you need to be in the weight room lifting. If it's not open, you need to be doing some sort of lifting at home, even if it's just push-ups. You know, you linemen, work on hand techniques at home. You know, like you do shadow boxing. It would help your hand techniques, your hands getting quicker. Footwork at home. There's little things you can do. But you need to be working now. You don't need to wait till summer. Okay, say you take a week or two off to rest your bodies. I can understand that. But get back at it and get into it now. But you need to work hard. Because these other teams and these other kids, they're going to work hard because they won championships. So how bad do you want one? There's a lot of promise coming up. But talking about it, it's not going to get you the ring. Simple. It's not going to get you the ring. switching back to the single wing, which I forgot to mention in the 2023 season, we wound up switching back, and that made a huge change. And we started going forward to make the playoffs at that point, and did really well. So, you know, getting out and work. You gotta work hard all summer. When this, spring sports are done, you guys gotta get in the weight room. I know a lot of coaches take their programs and go to a speed camp and things of that sort. Jeff, I don't know why you won't. Be perfectly honest with you. Why the coaching staff or somebody don't take the kids to a speed program. I know Naris used to. It cannot hurt, and it is so beneficial. But I don't know all the reasons that. Maybe it's money. I'm sure it's a part of it, but I'm sure the community will help something like that out. Excuse me. It's late. The play calling has got to get better in 2024. Now, I don't know, Jeff, maybe you need to take a break from the play calling and let somebody else call it. You're still going to have the ultimate say in overriding whatever's called anyway. But that would give you a chance to concentrate more on everything that's going on and maybe take a little pressure off of you. And before anybody thinks, hey, I'm beating Jeff down here, I'm not going to beat him down to the whole video. I have nothing against Jeff whatsoever or any other coaches. I'm just telling it the way I see it, in my opinion. And some opinions of other people I hear. Fortunately, they're not here to say it, so I'm saying it. But the play call's got to be better. We can't run 44 every time we turn around. Now, yeah, I understand. It was getting 3 yards, 4 yards, and sure, you're going to run it, you run it. But when crucial plays come up, I don't think we can always turn to 44 because teams know it's coming. Run something different. You got to run something different. And where, our passing game is awful. It's just awful, has been for years. And this is the passing offense. We really need to work on the passing offense. We need new plays. There's nothing wrong with having those, 20, 30, 40-yard pass patterns, but not every play. And, we need to be able to scheme. We need to be able to run screen passes. Why do we not run screen passes? I do not know when we have 11 people in the box. And they're half the time, most of them are blitzing. A screen pass would kill teams. Why do we not throw, first down or second down? The majority of the time. It's always on third down. Teams know it's coming and they back out of the box. We need to teach our receivers to find the holes in the zones. Teach our running backs, hey, here's where the play's supposed to go, but you need to look over here because this guy may stop because there's a hole right there. And throw the ball there. I do not know who the line coach is, but it needs to get better. The blocking is awful. The pass blocking is atrocious. I don't know, have they not taught how to pass block, or do they just not want it? Kids, you got one pass block. You got want to lock somebody up and lock them down. That goes back to being a little bit nasty. You offensive linemen, you've got to be stronger. You've got to be much faster, and you've got to be much, much more nastier and meaner. You should be the strongest, nastiest people on that field. You should just drive people in the ground and drive them until the whistle blows. I seen one of our linemen talking to one of the defensive linemen of another team while a play was going on, and a running back ran to his back and got knocked down because he wasn't blocking, but he was having a conversation with the defensive tackle. What are you doing? I don't buy one moment you were taught that way by our coaches. That's on you. And if our coaches aren't calling you out, then that's their fault. Because I don't care who your mom and daddy is. I don't care what they do for the boosters. If your hurting is that bad, you don't need to be on the field. Put kids on that field who want to play, even if they're smaller. We've had small linemen before who give everything they have. you know, lineman, you got to get stronger. And you've got to be able to get down there and just root people out and be nasty. Be nasty. You know, it's fine to be friends before the game, after the game. But during that game, that you need to think of that as a war. You know, I always see people helping somebody up, helping this, helping that. It's a war out there. Treat it as such. Let them know, hey, this is not going to be a good time for you. These next 4 quarters is not going to be a good time for you. The hell on the crown look at them. Hey, not going to be a good time for you. I'm not helping you up. Now, some people will take issue with that, and that's fine. But, you know, you need to set the tone early that this is Giles. We are nasty. We are mean. And it's not going to be a picnic for you. It is not going to be a picnic. You know, you may beat us, but it's going to be like it used to be. That next day, boy, you're going to be sore. So we need that mentality back. We need it back a lot. And it starts with you, offensive lineman. That's who it starts with. I think the schedule. I know the AA schools use a ton of points, and I totally understand why we do that, because it really pays dividends on the end of the year, especially if you win, get into the playoffs and seeding. But, you know, maybe it's time we back off some of these AA teams and put smaller schools in, so to speak, give us a better chance of winning and building confidence for our team. I'm like everybody else. I love to beat the bigger schools. I love playing the bigger schools. But if we're not beating them and we're just getting beat up, we're not getting anything out of it, then what's the point? We're not really getting points out of it, and we're getting beat to death, and the kids aren't having any confidence. So I think it's something to think about. It's really something to think about. I mean, I'm sure, you know, Bluefield game was some games is just, that's who we had to play, because that's all we could get. You know, but we should still look at some things, I think, there to give our kids a chance to have more confidence, and even get a little less points. We're still getting points and could maybe move up. That's something to look at. And as far as, you know, the play calling on offense, I'm gonna say the same thing on defense. We did blitz more this year. What it looked like. I think we should do it more going forward. I think it's hard for the especially single A level, to keep up with the, you know, blitzes and deal with that. But I think we should maybe send more than your normal linebackers. What about a corner? You know, can we teach our kids our line to cross or something, or the end and tackle to cross, something to cause confusion, something to make them think. I think the more they have to think, the more they have to prepare for, the more you will open things up. We definitely, I think that would help. I think that would cause confusion on the offensive side of the ball if we blitz more. Our corners, we'll get to that in a minute. But I think as far as defensive play calling, we need to look at that also and bring more and you know, just do different things what we normally do. I think some people have caught on to what we do so much. And I really liked the run defense we had against Grayson County. I thought it was really good. I know Jeff changed some things, and it really did good. So see, changing does not hurt. But I think there's a lot we need to look at. And back to the play calling. Jeff, I think you should still put in new plays for the single wing. More to prepare for other people. Take some of your best plays from that old offense and use them. I wouldn't use the whole offense, because obviously it did not work. It caused problems. But there are some plays that work. Why not use them? Defense has got to think. Defense has to prepare. More to prepare for. But that little slot receiver, we never used him that I can think of. He lined up out there, but did he ever go up for a pass? He didn't do much. You know, maybe line him up out there, use a couple of plays like he always did. Nothing. Then boom, hit him for a pass. Have him go down, and chip the defensive end, then release. Have them set up for a second, let everybody do their thing, and have them release and hit them. Dump it right over in the middle where the linebackers are going to be gone from blitzing or coming straight in. We got so many things we could do. Little dump passes out in the flat we could use more. Hook passes, seam passes. There's so many passes we could do that we don't do, and I think we need to really work on that. And a pass we normally wouldn't use, and we probably wouldn't use very often, but I think we should put back in the playbook if we've took it out, is the old hook and lateral. It'd be a play down the road. It might come in handy. You running backs. Whoever plays running back, you've got to get stronger and faster. You've really got to hit those weights and get stronger and faster. We have no breakaway speed, none whatsoever. That has got to get better. We have not had breakaway speed in years. That's why I think a speed camp would do really well for us. But we have got to increase our speed, increase our power, increase our vision. Our vision is awful. We run where we're supposed to run. And what I mean by that is, you go where the hole is supposed to be. But if you're going, say, where the 4 hole is, and out of the corner of your eye, looking back to your left, there's a huge hole there. Why are you not cutting back and going that way? You may not be no Barry Sanders, but good grace, watch some of these running backs. Look at that kid. Bring up film on this year, on the 2020 Missouri team, college team. And look at that little number 7 running back. He may start right. He's cutting it back left. And some of these other running backs, they're always got their head looking. Their eyes are always looking for that hole. You've got to have your vision to be able to cut back. It's supposed to go up inside, but you can bounce outside. There's a hole. You got to do it. But if it's supposed to go outside, there's a huge hole inside. You better hit it hard and bounce it inside and cut it. You've got to be able to make things happen. You may go initially where the hole's at, but if it's not there and there's a hole somewhere else, you've got to be able to hit it. And that's what I mean also by you offensive linemen. You've got to stay with your blocks. What is up with coming off the ball straight up? You're not keeping your shoulders down. You're not staying flat. Keep your shoulder pads on the hips of the defensive lineman and drive them out of the hole or anywhere else. Get your shoulder pads on the hips and you drive them to the whistle blows. Do you all not hit the sled? Because you're hitting that sled, and if you're coming straight up, your head should be hitting that sled, and that's telling you you're coming up too soon. Drive them out of there. You're coming up and you're chesting it. You're coming straight up out of your stance, and you're blocking like this. And Coach Kelly used to call that titty blocking. So you're blocking nipple to nipple. I don't know, maybe that's how y'all like to dance. I don't know, but that's not how you do it. Get down, get your shoulder pads on their hips, and you drive them out of there. Quit titty blocking. So running backs, you need to be strong. You need to be quick. You need to be able to look for the hole, find the holes. If it's not there, don't necessarily go where the hole's at. If there's another one to the left, if that hole's clogged up and there's a spot to the left, you got to hit it hard. Maybe you break it, but you got to find it. Coaches should be working with that. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. I don't know. Like I said, passing offense. Our quarterback / running back, you've got to be able to see the whole field. You can't come out of the huddle saying, okay, I'm throwing this one guy and that's where I'm going the whole time. You've got to be able to see 1, 2, 3 or A, B, C, however, I can't remember how our offense goes. But whatever it is, you've got to be able to read, what you're doing. Receivers, you've got to be able, if it's not open, you set up in a hole, let him find you. If you're covered, then stop. You don't got to keep running. But if it takes off and runs past you, then stop so he can see you, so he can throw the ball to you. If he throws the ball short, don't wait on it. Come back to it. Come back to it. Don't wait on it. You should be taught that. It's not rocket science. And my goodness, if we have somebody who can throw the football, we definitely need to work on with them from grade school up. So if if you're playing next year and you're the tailback and you can throw that football, personally, I think if we find a fullback and throw the ball too, let both of them throw it. You know how hard it would be to prepare for that? They would know which one's throwing the football and where. Just a thought there, Jeff. Even if it's just dump off passes the fullback throws. Remember, the more they got to think, the more they got to prepare for, harder for them. But, you know, we got to look at that stuff. We've got to change our pass offense up. We got to have shorter passes. Maybe run crisscrosses, but we got to find the holes. You don't got to keep running all the way across the field. If you're running, you know, a drag route and they're all over there, but you can cut off and stop in 5 yards and there's nobody around you, then stop. But running back, you got to see him and throw it to him. You know, throw the ball to the guy that's open and let him get the yardage. And it's just that simple. It's not rocket science, like I said. All the defense has got to be tougher. Defensive line, you've got to be tough. Now, you're going to face big offensive linemen, and they're going to root you out or they're going to lay on you. And sometimes you can't do nothing about it. But don't get moved. Stay in that hole. If they plant you there, then fine, fill that hole up. You be a big lump of dirt right there and fill that hole up. Or if you can take two blockers, take two blockers. If you can't get in there, so your linebackers can flow. Linebackers, you've got to flow to the ball, sideline to sideline, and you've got to clog the holes up. You can't wait. You cannot take the blow. You have to deliver it. We need physical Spartan football back on both sides of the ball. Defense, you've got to be physical. You've got to get physical. You've got to attack their line of scrimmage. You've got to attack them. Let them know it's going to be a long night. Win or lose, it's going to be a long night, and you're going to pay for it the next morning. Nobody wants to be smacked in the mouth. Well, be the aggressor. Because you're going to get hit, so you might as well be the aggressor. Why take it? Be the aggressor. That mentality's got to come back. It starts from the top all the way down. It's got to come back. Quit whining and crying at Jeff being too hard on you. Jeff played for Ragsdale, and some of those coaches did too. So they know it was rough playing for Rags. It was real rough. We did not have it easy. So toughen up and play aggressive. You know, our defensive backs, you can put your hand on a guy while you're running. You know, you run like this and have your hand on him. You can be touching him. You can't grab him, but you can have your hand on him. You know, so you can feel him. You see his eyes get big. Turn around, look how big your hand's still on him, so you know he's there. And boom, hand up, boom, knock the ball away. Maybe you pick it off. You know, understand the situation. And remember, high school, it's not a spot foul. It's not a spot foul. So you could grab the guy if you have to, give up a 15-yard penalty, and not a touchdown. And live to fight another down, and still maybe win the game. But we need pressure, so it's easier on the defensive backs. That comes from you linemen and you linebackers. Power and speed. Power wounds, but speed kills. And that's both sides of the ball. That's your linemen. Your speed is coming from your specialty players, your running backs, your receivers. On defense, that would be your linebackers, and your secondary's got to be fast. But we've got to be able to either find some sort of different pass defense to give the guys help because they can't cover, or teach them better, or both. I mean, it's just not there. You know, our field goal kicking. You know, the kid, I don't know what his name was, he kicked good this year. But I think pressure got to him in the playoff game. It happens. It's probably going to happen to you again if you listen or whoever kicks. So don't let it beat you down. It's just one of those things. But, you know, our field goal kicker, our punter, you need to be in the weight room. You need to be strengthening your hips, your legs. Your core is very important. Strengthen your core, you know, your abs, the core, all that section. You need, just get strong. Just get strong. The weight room is so important. In sports in general, but in football. So you need to strengthen your core, your hips, you know, your legs. Concentrate on that. Work on your field goal kicking all summer or all winter. If you know, you have a little field goal thing down here at the community center, KJ, whatever you want to call it, you can work on it all year. Work on kicking that ball. Work on getting stronger. Have things thrown at you while you're kicking so you can get used to like people running at you. I'm sure your dad or your friends would help something. Like I said, back to off-season workouts. It is so important that you get your off-season workouts in starting now if you're not playing winter or fall sports. And once those are over, get in the weight room. It's time to start. If you want a ring, if you want to be what Spartan football is, there's where it starts, in that weight room. If the weight room's not open, then at home. If you don't have weights, you got push-ups. Like I said, you got shadow boxing for your hands. You got things you can do with your feet, shuffles, burpees, ab work, that's core strength in the core. There's things you can do. You can reach out to pretty much anybody who knows Spartan football help. I'd be glad to help any way I can. And several others, there's several others that would be glad to help, because we love Spartan football and we want to see you all succeed. And your coaches want to see you succeed. This is not a bashing, Jeff and the coaching staff. This is just things that I see and others see. But the workouts, the weights, the speed, we need everybody to work on speed, but you key positions, you specialty positions, you run back, secondary, receivers, ends, you really need to work on your speed as well. There's bands, there's things of that nature you can use. I have those. I can help you all those if need be. Passing, if you know how to pass the football, then get somebody this summer to go out. The field's probably going to be locked because of the track, but you still have the community center, KJ, or find somewhere else. Get together, run patterns, or make your own up just so you can pass. But work on passing. Get people to throw things at you like people getting there on you. But work on your passing. Fine tune it. Let's see. And your endurance. We need to be in so much shape. It used to be, come to the fourth quarter, nobody wore out a Spartan football team. We may lose a ball game, but by golly, we were not worn out. We could play the whole other game after that game was over because we were in such good shape. I know we don't run Fungo anymore. At least I don't guess we do. Last I heard, we didn't. Or most of it because the kids can't handle it and they might quit. Well, you all need to suck it up. It's a tough sport. I said, if you want to win, that needs to be brought back. And what you do on your own is huge. Is huge. So parents, I would say, endurance is hard. They got to work. You're going to make them work. I know, kids it's a different breed now. They don't want to listen. They want to play their games. Hey, I'm an older guy. I still like playing, the PlayStation, stuff like that. It takes my mind away from, reality sometimes and just gives you a break. But I still work. I still got a job to do. So if you're playing sports, that's technically, in a sense, your job. So you need to get ready for it. You need to prepare for it. And one last thing, you all need to become one. You hear Appomattox talk about that, one. You need to become one. You all need to be brothers out there on that field. Now, all of y'all are not going to like each other when you're not playing. It's just how it is. Some of you may not be able to stand each other. But when you're on that field, if somebody does something to one of your teammates, you better take up for them. You better let the other team know, that's my brother. That is my brother right there. I can say something to him. I can smack him in the mouth, but you will not. You will not. You will not come to my house. You will not do anything on this field. I'll come to your house. I'll smack you around in your field. Smack you around in your house. But you won't come here. But you have got to become one. You've got to become family when you step inside that gate. It's very important. You don't have to love each other. Sometimes you may not even like each other. But you step inside that gate, you've got to become family. Nobody pushes you around. You stand up for each other, you play for each other, and you physically impose your will on the other team in all phases of the game. Special team, offense, defense. You physically impose your will. Your offensive linemen, once again, you have to be the breadwinners of his offense. It starts with you. Defensive linemen, you clog the holes to the linebackers and so forth. Can do what they need to do. It's not a glamorous job. You know, you make a tackle, yeah, your name gets called. Offensive lineman, you get a penalty, your number gets called. So it's not pretty, it's not glamorous. If that's what you're in for, you know, I've seen people this year after games, you're all happy, giving your little duck face kisses and stuff. You got your rear ends handed to you. You shouldn't be really happy, in my opinion. But like I said, times have changed. But that's it. You know, Jeff's got his work to do. I don't think we can blame Jeff for everything. The kids have got to listen. You know, the coaches got to put things in. Coaches, you can't be afraid to put things in and say, well, the kids can't learn it. You know, I've heard that before. Well, the kids can't learn it. You know, you got to work with them. Some things they won't be able to learn. You know, this new offense, I heard some of them say they couldn't learn it. Or learn it real well. Well, that's the first year they ever done it, I guess. So, yeah, there will be some hiccups, just like anything else. But you're going to have to add some things. The same old thing is not going to work. You know, I'm sure you could add some sort of pass play out of the 44. Maybe we have one, I just can't think of it. You know, there's so many things we could do. Don't be afraid, coaches, to put something in there. Single wings are bread and butter. That's what we do best because that's what we know. But kids, it starts with you. It starts with you. You know, mom and dad. I guess really it starts with you. You know, if your son or if your daughter's playing, whatever it may be, if they're not going to work, you're going to give them, you know, in the house working out, give them some weights or, you know, work with them, do some push-ups with them, or, you know, do something. Sit them, watch videos with them, find them on YouTube and watch them. Show them what a running back's supposed to do, how they pass the ball, bring it up. Let them see how these guys look people off and how these receivers, you know, they stop and they find holes. Now, you all put in your time. You know, the big brothers and the voice and things like that can, you know, it can wait. It can wait. These kids need us. You know, I would love to help coach the linemen. Now, I'm not going to say I could sit there if I was on that field and do a better job than Jeff or any of these other coaches. Could I? Hey, maybe I could. And maybe I couldn't. Maybe I would stink it up even worse. But, you know, I'd be willing to help them out anytime I can, and any of the kids, of course. So this is not a bashing thing. But those are just some things I went over, probably things, you know, I may have forgot. I mean, you go to fight, kids. You're going to have to bring the mentality back that, hey, I want this. I want the state championship. I want the ring. I want the district championship. You know, I want that Giles football field painted like I seen, you know, in 2013, 2014, and so forth, and, you know, other times. But you got to work hard. Lineman, again, if you're going to play line for Giles, you know, starting this year, don't wait till next year. Get in the weight room. Work on your speed. Work on your hand. Even linemen, working on your hand speed is very important on pass blocking. You've got to know how to get up there and grab a hold of them, not get caught holding, when to let go, how to jab them. I don't know if you're being taught this stuff or not, because you can jab them. There's all kinds of things you can do to slow down the pass rush. You know, and don't. I go on and on. Become one. Become family. Become brothers out there. Don't let nobody push you around. You all push them around. You all take up for each other. You need to work hard in the off season. Weights and speed. Especially players, work on your patterns. Work on passing. Work on catching. Work on punting, kicking field goals. You have a place to go now down there at the community center, or KJ, whatever you want to call it. Running backs, you gotta be able to see the whole field, how to cut back. The initial hole's not there. You gotta find the hole. And linemen, stay on your freaking blocks. Put your shoulder pads on the hips and drive. Don't stand straight up. But that's it in a nutshell. I know it's a long video. I hope there could be something there. I hope I touched on about everything. Probably more I could have. I know there's more I could have. Coaching. Jeff, have you put in some different plays out of the single wing? I definitely think we need to run a single wing, but don't be afraid to use things. And our pass offense has got to improve. We've got to find holes. Not just run patterns. We got to find holes the guys can set up in and hit them. Our pass offense has got to get better, and our pass defense has obviously got to get better. But anyway, that is a little bit of the 2023 season that went over. I wish we could have done better, of course, like we all do, and a little bit going into the 2024 season. From what I understand, there's a lot of promise going into the 2024 season and the 2025 season. So a couple seasons coming up that's promising. The kids, it's only going to be as promising this next season as the work you put into it. And not blaming the coaches for what they're doing. You got to put your work in first. So parents, push them. Do them right. Push them. But the work you put into it and the time you put into it, guys, is what's going to boil down to how good you do. Because I can promise you, these other teams out there, as soon as their season's over, they'll take a week or two off to recover, and they're going to be in them weight rooms, and they'll be hitting those weights, getting stronger. And once the fall sports are over and spring sports over, they're not going to wait to July to lift weights in the middle of June. They're going to be out there in the weight room hitting it. Get together with friends, go to each other's house and work out. Don't go to work out and then don't and be silly and stupid. Go work out. Go work on foot speed. If you want a championship, this is all there is to it. Well, that's my opinion on things, and there's some other people's opinions that were put in there as well that I brought up, but I didn't tell you that was their opinions. Quite a few people agree with me on some things. But that's our opinions. It's not to cut anybody down or anything like that. It's just trying to get them ready, and so forth. So, but anyway, that's it for the Friday night breakdown. And maybe I'll do these next year too. I don't know. We'll see. But I hope you've enjoyed the ones I've done. And you let me know if you do. So maybe I'll do them again. Anyway, have a good year, and hopefully we'll have a much better year next year.